All right, I've got my first taker for somebody who wants me to review their onboarding process. I'm taking a look at Sidekick. Let's jump in. Okay, I'm going to take a very quick look at their website just to get an idea of what the product does. So we're going to create ready to go emails very quickly. Awesome, we can see the product working here. We can see some examples of emails that have been created. 3 steps, 1 minute. So this looks like it's going to be crazy fast. So I select from a vault of email campaign types. I copy and paste my URL, and then I hit generate email, and I can download my favorite of the designs that are generated. So we can keep my readers engaged with 20 different kinds of emails. It looks like we're using AI to generate our content here because it mentions ChatGPT, and it mentions that it is pulling it together with beautiful design, some testimonials, comparison. Okay, I have an idea of what the product does. So let's jump in. We're going to try it for free. So this is a huge opportunity that I think 95% of applications miss, which is the login screen. It is the ugly duckling of most products. And the reason why is because it's kind of in this weird zone where it's in the product team's court. So marketing has spent all of this time building out a beautiful site that really messages the value of the product and is really focused on selling how amazing this product is and showing how the product works. And then at the last minute, somebody tells the product team, oh, hey, we need a way for somebody to log in and sign up for the product. And they throw together a templated sign-up screen and they go from there. The problem with most sign-up screens today is they're just very functional. They just let you type in your name, email, and password. Your motivation at this point on the site is high. You're excited. You're starting to see some of the value proposition. Most people will not go through the whole page like I just did. They may say, all right, this looks neat. I want to try it for free. Well, we just lost a massive opportunity to show them the value of the product right here. A really phenomenal example of an amazing sign-up page is Causal. So let's take a look at what they did here. What Causal did is, of course, they are going to be using their very standard functional login area where you can log in with Google or Xero. They added a trust indicator and social proof with the G2 rating at the bottom. I've also seen people use a testimonial really effectively on one of their sign-up pages. On the right, they include a freeze frame of the product so you can see what product you're getting. And then they very quickly summarize what their value proposition is. And that's really important because not everybody reads the entire site. So let's summarize for them why they should be using your product if they've clicked sign up because they've decided they just want to kick the tires. So let's set expectations before they jump in. So Causal is a great example of somebody who's done this phenomenally well. They're in like the top 1% of what I've seen out there. All right, let's log into Sidekick. Okay, I'm going to sign up. We have a loader. Okay. First screen, it says, welcome, let's build an email together in a minute. I love that you call out it's a minute. It feels like it's going to be fast. This is a quick win. And quick wins are so important in onboarding because you want your customer to feel like they have been really successful at the very beginning of the process. My motivation is at its highest right now because I just looked at the website. I said, this might be for me, and signed up. This is the highest level of motivation I'm going to have. Let's take advantage of it and let's fuel that motivation with a quick win. So you're telling me we're getting a quick win. I'm very excited. Previous button's confusing. It doesn't go anywhere. I would also just change the next button to I'm ready and kill the second sentence. The other thing I might do here as a bonus would be to give like a GIF or something of the product working just to remind me that, yes, this is the product that I'm looking at. These are the exciting things I'm about to get. Or even do the really awesome 1, 2, 3 that was on the homepage, just describing what the process looks like. Okay, so we are looking at different email types. So we're going to start by selecting the type of email to send. Okay. it's pushing me towards doing one of the most popular ones. Let's click Let's Go. Okay, it wants us to select Product Spotlight. I don't know if your ICP always uses Product Spotlight or if why this one is focused on, or if they could pick. But I guess it's helpful for eliminating decision paralysis between the 20 different options. I think there were 20. So this could be really useful in just limiting it down to the one that you feel most of your customers would need or use. Great, so that's fantastic. I'm going to select Product Spotlight. Watch my email take shape. Comes to life as I enter more detail. We're only halfway through. Ugh, don't remind me, right? And click Next to build the rest of it. I wouldn't even bring up the halfway through. Again, instead of using Next, I would use micro copy the small bits of text in the application to be a little clearer about what each button does. But this is great because it's showing a preview on the right side. It's showing what I'm going to get. Once generated, I'll have 32 variations to pick from. That's amazing. Next. Okay, copy and paste a URL of best-selling product. I pulled up a product page to be prepared. So I've got Caraway open. Let's choose this product from Caraway. One thing that's confusing here is that it's number 2 and number 3. I don't know where step number 1 is. It wasn't the last step. Okay, I'm going to add the Caraway link. And it looks like it's loading something, but I'm not sure what it's doing. So reinforcing what the application is doing right now when it's loading would be helpful. What brand do I want to make it for? This is a bit confusing. So there's default brand. Can I edit a brand? Should I edit my brand? Should I create a new brand? I haven't been asked about my brand yet, so that's a little confusing for me. Kind of broke my mental model. So what I mean by mental model is in onboarding, one of the processes you're doing is mental model expansion. So I'm taking my mind from where it is right now, and you're slowly expanding it to where you want it to be. Video games do this really effectively. You walk, you run, you jump, you choose your weapon, you start using your weapon, then you do some crazy like Mortal Kombat combo moves. I'm dating myself here, right? So as you are expanding their mental model, you're doing this progressively step by step. Here you kind of took me to a different place. I've been progressively having my mental model expanded, and now I'm here and I don't know what this brand is and why we're here. So that's just something to think about when you're thinking about an onboarding process, is how do you take somebody from point A to point F or Z in a very linear, not even linear, it's just in a way that constantly, A, boost motivation. I'm all about boosting motivation. And B, walks them through the process step by step. I'm going to pick the default brand. Okay, but then that deleted my URL. I'm going to put my URL back in. I'm going to click next. I think that's a bug. Okay, we're almost here. Stamp your brand. Okay, now it's going to tell me about brand. Click edit brand and upload your logo. It's like you're talking about, if you want to quickly see how it works, use the placeholder. Okay, I'm going to use the placeholder brand for now. And then I'm going to upload 4 photos of my product. I clearly don't have photos of the product, so I'm just going to pick from these the placeholder images they have. But there looks like there's an image library. Okay, I'm going to click next. And then it says generate email and watch the magic happen. So I think this is a missed opportunity here to tell them how much time they just saved. Think about how much time it would have taken to generate this email. You call it out on the marketing copy. Let's call it out here. Remind them of the time savings that they're getting right now before they start the generation process. All right, let's watch the magic happen. Oh, I should have clicked it on too. The 2 buttons there is a bit confusing. Oh, I love this. Okay, so this loader is walking through the typical steps somebody would take in the generation of the email, designing prototypes, going back to the drawing board. It's reminding me of all those time-consuming tasks I would have to do when creating an email from scratch, all the creative work. And then it says, your draft is ready. Here's another opportunity to hit how much time you truly saved. That loader was phenomenal. That got us there. Now, let's really bring it home and say, great, think about all the time you just saved. All right, my first draft is ready. We can perfect it. Let's go. I can edit copy. All right. I can edit the text style, adjust images. Oh, wow, this is a lot. I would say with something like this where you have basically thrown them into the product experience, I would give them something a little bit more where they can explore on their own, either like a checklist that they can explore certain topics, or even little kind of like flashing dots on areas you might want them to explore. Because at this point, I'm not going to read all of this. I don't know if most people will, but I definitely won't. And I also kind of need help in context rather than getting it all up front, kind of flooding my brain with too much information, and then I'm going to forget it by the time I need it. I can add more sections. I can change the order. Okay. It's my turn. Yay! I liked that copy. It made me feel really good. So I can create another campaign if I wanted to. That feels like it's leading me into that action, and then I got pulled into another step, which is to download the email. I would download the email first and then push them to create another campaign. Okay, so I'm going to download my email. But this has done a great job. I mean, it pulled in the image. It looks like it pulled in copy from the Caraway site and, wrote AI-generated copy, because I know this is not some of this, like oven safe and non-toxic, I'm pretty sure are words that Caraway uses in their content. But I don't think this is a direct rip of the content from the Caraway site. So that's pretty awesome. It did a really good job of pulling in that content from what I can tell. Okay, now it's telling me, it popped up this thing in the middle of my experience, which is a little bit jarring, which is to upload to my ESP. Actually, this is really helpful. Given that I just downloaded, it's probably telling me what to do with that file. I can't tell if my file download just finished and that's what triggered it, but that might be helpful. Overall, I think the onboarding did a great job. I especially loved the loader when the email was loading. Anytime an application like this takes time, it's really helpful to use that moment to reinforce the value, because generally, yes, the software is saving you a ton of time, but it feels like you're waiting for a while. So this saved me hours, but I'm sitting here watching my watch because it took 20-30 seconds to generate all the email variations in here. So I thought that was fabulous. I would love to see more value-infused microcopy and content throughout some of these tooltip sections where they're walking through step by step. I think there were some missed opportunities around showing what value you guys provide. And just infusing it in a very light way, right? Like, I'm not talking about making it like super obvious, like you're trying to sell them. Just make sure that there are opportunities in the moment to say like, and we're delivering on that promise that we made you on our marketing site. But overall, this was fabulous. It did a great job of walking me through. For the most part, you guys did a great job of walking me through from, the beginning to the end. There weren't a ton of points where I was super confused. So overall, Sidekick, you set the bar pretty high. I'm excited to see if I have any more takers.